Alright, I bought this caster set for my Rikon 70-30-40 lathe, hoping it would solve some of my space woes by letting me roll the lathe out of the way when I'm not using it. But here's the problem. This is the caster. This is one of the casters installed. It's just 2 bolts that bolts onto those 2 bolt holes. But when you install it, you get this. A huge trip hazard, and it makes your lathe much bigger. So this really doesn't help with space problems. That sticks out nearly 10 inches. This pushes down, and that raises the lathe up. That drops it back down. So that works fine. But whoever designed this didn't put enough relief angle or relief here to let that stay back. Or they could have put a spring in it. Now, that could be fixed, but this thing is still huge. It's massive. I mean, it sticks way out there. And even if you got that to hold up, when you're rolling it, you're still have 8 inches of space. And I suppose you wouldn't be able to set it back down unless you had that full 10 inches of clearance wherever you rolled it into. So the other thing I don't like is no effort has been made to shape this to the lathe. These lathe legs are curved, and this is, it's not only flat, but it's has a big rounds on it. So this one is bolted tight, but look at all that space. That's gonna fill with chips, and they're just gonna be, I mean, they're just gonna cram themselves in there. Look at how poor the contact is. Left, right, top to bottom. That also puts pretty much all the force as shearing force on these bolts, because this face doesn't really get pulled very tight. There's not as much frictional force on the face to face. It's just all shear force on the bolts. So I'm not going to use these. I'm going to send them back or sell them. I guess for completion, they do come with instructions, and they were decently packaged. This came double boxed with double wall cardboard, little sheets of plywood. So they came in intact and shipped nicely. But I waited about 10 months, or maybe eight, somewhere between 8 and 12 months, just to get these from Rikon. And these are just a huge kind of engineering disappointment. Does not help me out at all here. So those are the 70-971 retractable swivel casters for the Rikon 70-30-40.